Hey, it's Lockie. I'm back with another video on how to use the Lexus Connected app. There's been a few changes with the app, some updates and things like that. So I'm going to be teaching you how to connect the car to the phone. So first step is when you've downloaded the Lexus Connected app, I'll show you the logo of what the app looks like on screen. Make an account and everything, sign into it. Once you've signed in, it will initially prompt you to add the vehicle. So to do that, I'm going to go to the little plus at the top of the screen here. So this is what it will look like for you normally. So from here, you can either enter the VIN manually or you can scan the VIN. Now I usually opt for the scanning option. So once you select that, all you've got to do is then hover the phone over the VIN number. Now I'll put on screen all the locations of where you can find the VIN number. For the sake of the video though, I have printed off the VIN number here. So I can show you what happens when you scan it. So as you can see, it hops straight over and then it has pre-filled that rapidly. So it does it pretty much straight away. Once that's then selected, you just go add vehicle. In here, you can give the vehicle a nickname if you'd like. You can then go preferred service dealer, select this, and then you're able to select which dealer. So Central Coast for us. So we select that and then continue. There we go. And from here, there's all of the terms and conditions and everything. You just scroll down to the bottom and then go activate all data and services. And you're all set. So from this stage here, you'll notice this doesn't really do anything. It's all pretty much locked up. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to verify that we're an owner. So we're going to go verify here, and it'll give you a couple of things. So it says here, you must be inside your vehicle to activate connective services, park in an area with strong network coverage, start your vehicle, please don't drive and stay parked. So all you've got to do now is we're going to turn the car off and on again, and I'm going to show you the next steps. Okay, so now what we're going to do is make sure the car is turned off. So I just like to turn it off just like that. There we go. And then once the car's off, we can then go continue and then just boot her up one more time. This will just verify that everything's working correctly. It doesn't have any issues. So you can see now it says follow the steps in your vehicle, go to settings, current driver, tap connect your account. So what we'll do is on here, we'll go into the settings, the little cog icon. And now you'll see it says current driver Lexus. So you want to tap on that, connect your account, press yes, through Lexus app, next on there, and then there'll be confirm, scan QR code, and then on the screen it says continue, go confirm, and you'll notice your name will pop up at the top of the screen up there. You'll get a few alerts pop up as well, and with some notifications. Now here it has device linking. Link devices to your profile can automatically be loaded next time you drive the vehicle. So I'll make another video on how to fully set up the profiles and everything. They're pretty cool. You can have pre-saved with your seats, with heads-up displays, all sorts of different things. For the time being, we'll just stick to how the app works though. So I'll just go cancel along in there. Now, once we go back to the settings, you'll see that your account is in there. Now, one thing I usually recommend people do is go into personal info and then scroll down to where you see profile lock by password. Turn this off. It's very annoying. Basically, you've got to type your password in quite regularly in here to get your profile to activate. Now, if your phone or anything like that is then paired to that profile and it's locked, the phone won't connect, which is very frustrating. So make sure that's turned off and it's a much more seamless experience. So now that it's all set up, you'll notice on your phone here, you'll have a few extra options pop up. So you've got a little power button to remote start the car. So you can essentially start the vehicle through there. Note the way that this one works is it's just to warm the car up. You can't drive the vehicle. As soon as you open the door of the car, the engine will turn off. I'll show you that in a second. Then you've got lock, unlock. You've got these 3 dots here. Tapping on that will then give you a few extra features. You can lock the boot, unlock the boot, put the headlights on, toot the horn, sound the alarm, and put your hazards on. So you can do that all remotely, which is fantastic. Underneath, you have climate settings. If we go into that, in here, we can then go custom climate and tick it on. This is now going to allow us to customize the internal temperature of the car next time we boot it up. So we can go here and we can select, 22.5. You can then go to your seat options, your driver or passenger seat, and you can select cool. So now with that setting, we've got it at 22.5 degrees and the cooled seat will come on for the passenger. We can then go save settings, and that's now saved those settings. So when we remote start the vehicle next, it will program that into the vehicle. Now, also you have a scheduled section here. This is essentially an automatic way so that the car will start itself and warm up at a certain time. So you can select the time and also the date. Then go into climate and you can select your demisters and all this sort of stuff as well and have all that pre-saved in there. That's really handy if it's a cold morning and you're going to be doing that every single day. You can have it programmed in. So every morning before you go out to your car, it will be beautiful for you. Another section we've got is the status. So up in the middle here, you can tap on that and it will show you everything that's happening with your current car. So we can see the tire pressure. We can see the red section here represents that the boot is unlocked. And we've also got a door open as well. So if all the doors are closed, as an example, it'll give you this option to then lock the doors. But otherwise, this boot has a lock option. You can tap on that and it will lock it, which is fantastic. Shows you if windows are open as well. You've got a health section at the top here. So this will show you the current health of the vehicle. So you can see there's no alerts, so nothing wrong with the vehicle. There's no servicing campaigns currently going and there's no recalls. So that will show you as well. Now, underneath, we have a service section. In here, you can book a service through your preferred dealer, which is pretty cool. It also shows you any upcoming services. You've also got a pay section in here, which is essentially how you can pay for subscription-based products and things like that through here. Select the vehicle that you want. Manage subscriptions. And then you can see in here what we've got at the moment. Now, the only real useful one on here that I would recommend buying in the future would basically just be your connected, which allows you to remote access the vehicle. Other than that, the multimedia one, you've got Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in the car, so you're going to be able to use that map anyway. So there's not really much point in continuing that on. So yeah, the connected one's handy. It's not necessary. The car still works and everything with it. But if it's something extra, if you do want that for more of a long-term thing. The very bottom, we've got the car icon, which takes us back to where we were initially. The shop icon, same sort of spot where you can then look at your subscriptions in there. In the Find section, this basically shows you where the vehicle is currently located. This particular car is a plug-in hybrid, so it's got a station option so you can see where to charge if you need to. You can find the dealer from here. The drive, pulse, and recent trips is pretty cool. So tapping on this will show you all of the recent trips the car's had. Note this car, because it's the first time we've set this app up, there is no recent trips in here, but it will then show you how fast the car has been driven, harsh accelerations, harsh cornerings, harsh brakings, and exactly where it was done. So it gives you a really good option if someone else drives your vehicle to see how they're looking after it, essentially. You've got a destination section down here as well. In here you can set your home address, your work, locations that the car has been driven recently, and you can basically press that and that will send it to the vehicle, which is really cool. No, most people are going to use your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto anyway, so you're probably never going to use this, but it's there if you ever need it. So that's the majority of those features for the app. I'll just give you a quick rundown on exactly how to use the remote start. A lot of people get confused with it, so we'll jump out of the car and I'll show you how that all works. All right, so we're going to then use the remote start feature now. It's important that the car is locked first, otherwise it won't work. You can lock it through your options here. If it's already locked, you just hold down your power button. Don't show me again, it'll give you a bit of a warning. And that will send it to the vehicle. You'll see the indicators flash there. And now the vehicle is on. So being a plug-in hybrid, it's not going to make any noise, but that's then going to send all of the climate options that we set earlier straight to the vehicle. I hope that video helped. If you've got any questions or having any issues with it, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help. If you're interested in purchasing a vehicle, I've got my details listed below. I'll speak to you soon.